In the past, we've lived under the mantra, of the 3 Rs. I think now, with the responsibility that's now upon us to deal with climate change in much more significant ways, again, I think we're going to start to see a different kind of guiding principles. We're going to have to restore previously abused conditions. We're going to have to revive. We're going to have to regenerate. These are kind of be the words, I think, which will shape a collective attitude. Invariably, if we base approaches to building design on natural systems, and natural systems are regenerative by nature, it automatically implies that they are much more positive. Then the idea that our responsibility shifts from building things to building a capability. One can only do so much in improving the environmental performance of a particular building type, be it a house, or be it an office building, be it a school. I don't believe in the notion of a sustainable building. A building in and of itself can't be sustainable. But what we can do, and what we have to do, is to create approaches to buildings, individually and collectively, which support sustainable patterns of living. Historically, Zim van der Ende has always argued, and it's a wonderful characterization, that the responsibility of architecture has always been to act as a mediator between a human need or expectation and the natural context outside. But in his recent book, Zim van der Ende paints a much more kind of interwoven picture of a relationship between the natural world. So it's not just this circle in the middle with a human need, an outer context, be it nature, and essentially this kind of mediator, which is the role of building in between. He presents this wonderful image of a much more blurrier, interrelated connection between the two worlds. Nature coming into buildings, buildings going into nature in a much more integrated and integral way. We're going to have to find creative ways of not just mixed-use buildings, but mixed-use communities. So the notion of individual responsibility is important, but it's the way in which one can forge, I think, a much more powerful and collective voice. I think there's a sea change occurring, and it will gain momentum much quicker than we ever anticipated in terms of a public shift and engagement with environmental issues. And I think it's been incumbent on not just our political leaders, but essentially our design professionals to be aware that this change is going to occur and occur incredibly quickly. But those changes are going to be enhancements of the quality of life rather than reduction of them. I think that's the key message that's going to come out of the green design approaches in the future.